What's up, everybody? I've actually attempted this Moonshot review like multiple times. So, I'm Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com. And I'm tired of saying that. With regards to Moonshot, I just really want to get this review done. I keep trying to record it and something keeps happening, which you wouldn't know about. You would have no idea what take this is. But God willing, this will be my last take of my Moonshot review. So, yeah, Moonshot. What is it? It's an HBO Max original. It is not the sequel to Moonfall. I'm a blind film critic. That's why I use my iPhone and why I'm not staring directly into the camera and why I'm going to talk about audio description. So, Moonshot follows Cole Sprouse playing Walt, who is a terrible character. He's just really dumb and average, and he's an assistant barista to a robot. He's a college student. He's poor. He's just incredibly average. The film reminds us how average and stupid he is throughout the film. It's one of those, like, at least you're pretty roles. And he goes to a party and he meets this girl, and it's her last night on Earth, and she's going to go to Mars because we live in the future and Zach Braff colonized Mars. And only the richest and the best and brightest get to go, and she's headed there, and he really wants to go to Mars. He's applied like 37 times, and he's kind of jealous, and they kind of hit it off, and of course, so he spends a little bit of time pining for her and texting her back and forth and being like, oh my god, I want to go to Mars. And then there's this other girl, Sophie, who is played by Lana Condor, who her boyfriend works on Mars. They got a contract to work on Mars, and his contract keeps getting extended, and he's supposed to come home, but then he doesn't, and she's frustrated with that, but she can't go visit him because she has a fear of flying. But then she has this frustrating encounter with Walt that just kind of makes her go, fuck it, I'm going to go to Mars because I got to get away from Walt. And then Walt sneaks onto her ship, and she decides to help him so that he doesn't die in an air duct and let him stay in her cabin, where he refuses to stay there, which leads to him needing an actual identification because obviously he's a stowaway. So she pretends that he's her boyfriend, and this is a rom-com, and everything wrong about this film. Everything is wrong. It's cheesy. Nothing really works. Most of it is because Walt is miscast as Cole Sprouse. They went for the cute boy, but they wrote the kind of role that should have been given to Rob Schneider or Kyle Mooney or somebody like that, or Adam Sandler back in the day. This role required an actor with a strong comedic background, not Cole Sprouse, because the role is so goofy and makes such terrible decisions that in order for him to be endearing, you have to be able to sell the comedy behind it. And Cole doesn't do that. Instead, he just comes off as being kind of creepy for wanting to fly across the galaxy to a girl he met one night. That's the crux of the movie. The title Moonshot means nothing. It's a stupid title. Has nothing to do with the film. I don't know why you would release a film called Moonshot a month after the epic failure of Moonfall at the box office, because you know people are going to look at Moonshot and think it's Moonfall and then not watch it because it got bad reviews. So you're literally alienating your audience. I have to explain to people that Moonshot is not Moonfall. Like, there are two different films, because they sound so incredibly similar, and there's no necessity for Moonshot. They don't go to the moon. They're not going to the moon. Nothing is shot at the moon. They don't even talk about the moon. This is a film about going to Mars. So it just doesn't make any sense. There's a cute little line where he writes down like Walt and Sophie's impossible list, and I was like, that would have been a great title for the film, because it actually sort of tells you what the film is about. And, about doing sort of these impossible things that they believe that they can't do, but they end up doing them. That is more what the film is about than Moonshot. So, fuck that title. It's a stupid title. The audio description in this film, to be honest, this is a science fiction film, but the audio description is written for a rom-com, because unfortunately this film is straddling two genres. So they spend a lot of time in space on this spaceship. You're going to get very little description of the actual spaceship. Like when Sophie first gets on the ship, and then she's rocketed off into space, and then she sort of like is free to move about the cabin. She like starts walking off into other parts of the ship, and I'm like, how big is this ship? I feel like I was never told this. I don't know how many people are on board. I know nothing about this ship. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how science fiction it is. I don't know how big it is. There's a captain who doesn't apparently need to do much captaining. We don't really meet any of the rest of the crew, so she just is doing her own thing. There are some other guests. There are like rooms, and there are cabins. I just feel like this is a science fiction film, and I know so little about the sci-fi. I don't know what the robots look like in this film. There's one that was mentioned as being white. That's that was the extent of the description of that robot that was playing the piano. But I don't understand. I don't understand. They when they get to Mars, all of the buildings that are on Mars, what do they look like? Why would they look like buildings on Earth? When they go into these residences, what do they look like? What is the structure? What do we bring up there? What are we doing? Just describe it more. It is a science fiction film, and all they did was describe it like it was a romantic comedy. So, like, as a romantic comedy, 10 out of 10. Audio description is great. If you ignore the science fiction elements, if you're not interested in the science fiction at all, and you just want to have the back and forth between these characters, and you're like, oh my God, I really wanted to see a film where Cole Sprouse and Lana Condor have banter, and eventually I'm supposed to be like, please put them together. I want them to be together. Then this is your film. Because that's what the film does. Despite the fact that he's creepy and is flying across the galaxy for a girl he met one night, and then just stalks this other girl onto the ship. And I mean, there's nothing about him that is like cute and romantic in real life. If a person really did this in real life, if you were like in New York and it was your last night in New York and you met a dude and you were like, this is my last night in New York, I'm moving to Los Angeles tomorrow, but you were really fun. I like you. You're a fun person. And the person was texting you and you're kind of texting them back. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, the dude just showed up in Los Angeles and was like, I moved here. Hey, I'm here. We can be together now. You'd be like, and that's what the film should be like. But unfortunately, it really wants us to like Cole Sprouse and Walt. And so Moonshot is crap. It's palatable crap, because I would rather watch this than a lot of other films that I thought were kind of somewhat painful to watch. The tone of this film and the occasional making fun of Walt make this film sort of likable in a weird, bad movie way, and Lana Condor being in it, because she's not bad at all. I don't have a problem with Lana Condor's character. And then Zach Braff comes in, and I guess he's okay. He doesn't really impact the film much. So yeah, I mean, there are some things about the film that are either okay or that I didn't hate. So it keeps it from being just like outright, like one of the worst films ever made. It's not that. It's just not a film I would recommend. There are better films. There's a reason this film got dumped to HBO Max. It's got Warner Brothers and New Line, and it's produced by, a major production company, and just Greg Berlanti's behind this. So it had all of the weight of the world behind it and ended up on HBO Max. So, which is getting more and more common. I get that. But, yeah, this was never going to work in theaters. Nobody was going to see this. It was always going to make like maybe 10 million at the box office, which I assume the film was more expensive than that because of the science fiction elements, but I digress. So I'm giving Moonshot a C-. I don't recommend this film. This is below the level of, my grade is low enough that I don't recommend Moonshot. Watch something else. Sorry, Lana. I hope I'm still one of the boys you've loved before. God damn it. I'm keeping that one in. I'm tired of it. That's happening. That's staying in. Because I'm so done with the video. I was literally at the end of this video. And yep, so that's it. Let me know if you liked Moonshot, and let me know what you think in the comments about Moonshot, and head over to my website, maxmovie.com, for more info. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and always check out the audio description project for films that have audio description, and TV shows as well. Until next time, make good choices. If Walt would do it, it probably means you shouldn't.